what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Burn the Ship, the podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to go all in on their business. And today we are lucky enough to have on Nate. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.
Quite welcome. Great to be here, and thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your story.
Well, for a little bit of backstory, my name's Nate Wolfe. I live in the Greenville, South Carolina area. I've been looking to expand operations down towards the Atlanta metro area, up towards Charlotte as well. My company handles mostly exterior cleaning. I do roof and gutter cleaning, small pressure washing jobs, deck and fence staining are bigger jobs, which I'd love to have as well. Any sort of exterior maintenance or cleaning is sort of what I'm into on the residential side. And for commercial sides and commercial projects, I try to get into post-construction job site cleanup, sort of prepping the interior of houses that are new on the market, waiting for new guests or customers to move in. And just been looking to expand. I got up and running maybe 5 months or so ago. Just looking to have a good time, being a new business owner, scaling up organically and having a good time with it.
So what did you do before you opened up your business?
Well, I came from the roofing company. That's the sort of construction background that I started with. I was doing the actual roofing projects first off, moved up into a project management, sort of a sales and logistics type position from there. Sort of got a good sales attitude and approach about myself, and then I branched off into working for a GC who did a little bit of everything. So working for the general contractor, I sort of expanded my sales approach, sort of developed a personality to connect well with people. So I used my social skills and my sales attitude to kind of give a pleasant experience to people. Found that I was really good at it and recognized a need along the way working for the GC that post-construction job site cleanups were kind of a needed service. So after I stopped doing like sales and logistics for the GC, I kind of contracted myself into working for the same guy, but just coming in after the projects were complete, cleaning up, making sure, construction sites were clear of any nails, debris, waste, and things like that. So I sort of got into my own business, having a few clientele on deck already. So it was a good experience for me coming from roofing and then general contracting into what I do now. And starting my own business was sort of the next natural step after that.
That makes complete sense. I know that me personally have had a lot of bad relationships with people that have done roofing. And that building a relationship is what we focus on, and building a relationship with somebody it's the hat of your house, right? So if you can communicate effectively with that person and
Sure.
get the job done well, you're going to develop that relationship for whatever they need because they feel like they can call on you. So that makes sense that you switched into something that is relationship built.
Sure, definitely. When we started off roofing, actually, that was one of the main, obviously it's one of the main components of your house, but knowing my way around a roof gives me authenticity and sort of a real approach with people because they know what I've done before. They know that I have the eye to sort of see what needs to be seen on the roof or around their exterior because my experience in the companies that I had in the industry before I started my business, it also sort of helps me gain trust of potential clients moving forward as well. So, and it's not the one-off to have a bad experience with a roofing company. There's a lot of fly-by-night guys, I guess you'd say, out there. Oh yeah, we'll replace this roof for you, and then they leave shingles in the yard, nails all over the place, debris everywhere. They leave the customer with a mess. And so that's sort of where I identified the need of what my company could potentially do moving forward. Solving a problem that some people were having with, not so great roofers starting off. So it was sort of a vision that I had beforehand. Okay, here's where I can be the most effective and make the most money. And then that's just kind of how I zeroed in on it after that.
Yeah, that makes sense with us. Like, my CEO gave us a great analogy. It's like a doctor going in and just diagnosing you and handing you a prescription or handing you like some like skin medication or something without knowing where the problem is. And he was like, you have to press like a doctor. You press where it hurts and find the pain, and then you can diagnose the problem from there. So that's what we do with payment processing. We find where is your problem and how can I help? You don't want a doctor that just walks in and says, "This is what I'm going to do for you." No, like, we're not going to do that. It doesn't make any sense. You're going to hook me on Xanax or something. Like, no, I don't want that. I want
Right,
you to
right.
tell me what the actual problem is so that we can find a valid solution. And that's what you were doing with that. And that's what you're doing with your company.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to do, actually. And that's a very good analogy, actually, because a good business person identifies a problem and zeroes in on the solution, right? So it's very much like, let's say I'm on the roof, for instance, and they want their roof cleaned and their gutters cleaned, right? While I'm up there, being the doctor on the roof that I am, I can look at the other components, right? The roof vents, or the pipe boots, or the flashing, or the chimney cap, other components of the roof that all make up, the cap of the house, right? And take care of what's up there as well. So they expected me to get a roof or complete a roof and a gutter cleaning, right? But I'm up there doing so much more. And then being the doctor that I am, I can get back on the ground, let them know what's going on the roof. It gives them assurances that everything is structurally sound, on the roof. It gives them peace of mind. And then more importantly, I underpromised and over-delivered on the product or the service that I'm providing as well. So it all factors into sort of giving the customer the most careful experience that you can and making sure they're feeling psychologically safe, if you will. That they trust that someone's on the roof, not just providing the service they said, they're going above and beyond what they promised as well.
Right. Yeah. That that's what we all want.
Mm-hmm.
So, with your company, what all does that entail when you go into, you said residential and commercial?
Sure.
So, what all do you guys do?
Well, on the residential side, roof and gutter cleaning seems to be the quickest and easiest way to like just turn packages over. You know what I mean? You get volume like that. So the typical roof and gutter cleaning package starts at $199 and it could move up to maybe $399 or $499. It depends on if you have like a multi-story house or a really high roof, super steep roof maybe with a really like serious pitch, where you kind of have to be extra safe up there walking around. But yeah, those are the type of jobs that be completed in a less time intensive manner, right? I could probably knock out two, maybe three a day if they're scheduled correctly. So that would be the primary product that I would offer in a sort of in a volume type thing. I can get a lot of those in a week. Typically, I might have a 10 a.m., a 1 p.m., and a 4 p.m. And that's a full work day, right? Where I've made good money for myself and my company, and I've completed a good volume of work. Other types of jobs are a bit more time intensive and labor intensive, maybe like a fence staining, something like that. Ideally, it would be me and another set of hands. We would go out to a job site, measure the fence, give it a chemical wash first, make sure the pores of the wood are open, that they can take the stain. Obviously, there's going to be some materials involved, a sprayer, the whatever kind of product they're putting on their fence, maybe a Sherwin-Williams, like a semi-solid stain. Depending on the linear footage of the fence, this particular project could take 2 or 3 days, maybe four, actually, if it's a really big fence. So it's a bit more labor intensive and time intensive, but it yields a much larger profit margin as well, though. So those are great jobs, especially ones that I like to travel for, particularly down to the Atlanta area, and a lot going on down here construction wise and things like that. So yeah, as far as like labor intensive or time intensive projects, it could be something that takes as long as an hour or two, or something that takes several days. It just depends on what you're doing. Some exterior maintenance doesn't take long at all, and then some can be a bit more time intensive. It just depends. But as far as like the wide range of company services that we offer, it would be roof and gutter cleaning, small pressure washing projects. Maybe you have a driveway and a patio in the back, concrete needs to be taken care of. Maybe you have a lot of algae, mold, or mildew on your vinyl siding. That would be an ideal pressure washing project. Take care of that in about a day. Those are really fun projects too, because it's something you can really see what you've done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the results are immediately like viewable, and that makes people feel really good about it.
The before and after
Oh, the
pictures.
before and after is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to get up on my social media game with before and after pics and time lapse and things like that. So projects like that are really good for creating content for social media, if you will. But yeah, just any kind of exterior maintenance though is sort of what I gravitate towards, because that's, sort of where I came from. I'm implementing hands-on work that I'm familiar with, and yeah, just looking to expand, get more exposure for myself and my company, and then
Okay.
scale up organically from there. So
All right, well, this is a great way to do it.
that's why I'm here.
So you led me directly into my next question is what is your range? So you said the greater Atlanta area. Do you do out of state or is it strictly Georgia based? How far do you go? Do you go north of Atlanta, south of Atlanta? Where are you at?
Atlanta is typically the farthest south that I'll go for a bigger project. I'm actually based out of the Greenville, South Carolina area, though,
Right.
but anywhere up and down the 85 corridor is easily travelable for
Okay.
me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Atlanta would be
As long
like
as there's not an accident.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Traffic is definitely a question mark in Atlanta. You never know. I was grateful to get here in record time today, actually. Clear day, no wrecks. Yeah.
You did great.
Knock on wood for that. But yeah, the Atlanta metro area is probably the southernmost area that I would service, and I would go as far north as maybe Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a lot of construction in the Charlotte metro area, the Greenville, South Carolina metro area, and here in Atlanta as well. So, with a lot of construction and new housing going up all over the place along 85, I'll travel. If the money's right, I'm happy to jump on the road, you know. And your fence standing projects are honestly what really, that's what I don't mind traveling for. Because the bigger the fence, the more profit in the job, so on and so forth. The logistics of getting the materials I need aren't hard because there's Sherwin-Williams stores everywhere. So yeah, ideally Atlanta and working around the metro Atlanta area, a fence standing is what would get me down here, and I would love to kind of get more exposure on that end particularly. So coming down
Okay.
here is yeah, it's always a treat for sure.
Yeah, Atlanta's a good time.
Oh, it's awesome. It's
I'm sure
always
there's
awesome.
plenty of business for you in
Oh, for sure.
Atlanta.
I don't mind traveling for other reasons as well. It's not just for work, man. The nightlife here is fantastic too. So,
Well, I mean, pick and choose, but
right.
yeah,
we'll check in on it later. Yeah, it's all good.
yeah, we can circle back to that.
I'm here for the evening. Just saying.
So, what for you as like we are a building relationship company, right? Like I want to help you. Like I scratch your back, and I don't care if you scratch mine. I just want to build relationships with other people.
Sure.
So the ideal client for you would be somebody that is new fence, new homeowner, new business.
Sure, yeah. I mean, in a general sense, obviously, anyone that just put a fence in their yard, I'd love to knock on their door and talk to them for a minute. Hey, what you going to do with that? Maintenance is everything. Wouldn't you like to waterproof it? What color do you like? Things like that. But an ideal demographic, if we're talking like, numbers and whatnot, I would say any homeowner that's, say, 34 to 60-ish, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's an ideal range if I'm working in the residential side of things anyway. Because, I mean, people that are at least 35 or older and own their own home, they take pride in their property. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for curb appeal. They want their property value to remain nice and high. Absolutely. And so maintaining your shingles, maintaining your roof components, keeping your house looking good from the road, keeping stains out of your driveway, things like that. Maintaining your landscaping, which is also something to keep in mind. Side note, eco-friendly products are always the ways to go. When I'm handling a cleaning or exterior maintenance at a particular like residential location, using eco-friendly products, people find these things really important because they want the value of their property to stay high or go up, and they want to take care of where they live because that's their home, that's their safe place, So basically conveying that value to a potential client is important to me because, hey, you paid hard money for this, hard-earned money for this. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you want to keep it looking good, taken care of, structurally and mechanically sound? And then that's where me and my products and my services come in. So just providing that experience, that over-delivery of awesomeness to a potential homeowner, that's what I'm trying to do, And then connect with people along the way also. I take pride in being social. I meet people easily, just try to be cool with people. So if I'm making a friend and a sale at the same time, I'm winning. So
That's facts.
yeah,
I appreciate you coming in and just taking the time to talk with us and share a little bit about your business. So
Sure.
tell our audience where they can find you at. Your Instagram, Facebook, website, phone number, whatever you want to give.
right.
Let the people know.
I have a QR code that I let you and production team kind of like put up if you possibly can, but it's got all my links on it there. I am on Facebook, Top Notch Cleaning Solutions. Make sure you put in Greenville, South Carolina. There's some other posers out in Texas that have the same name. What are you going to do? But yeah,
Harping on you.
of course, everybody wants to bite my style. But it's Top Notch Cleaning Solutions is the name of my company. Look it up in Greenville, South Carolina. Have the Facebook page up and running as well. Working on other social media outlets, and it's also Top Notch Cleaning Solutions Upstate.com if you want to check out the website. Plenty of pictures of what I've done and, basic information about the services I provide and why they're important as well. So, Top Notch Cleaning Solutions Upstate.com. Check out the website. There's a form fill. Hit me up. It'll come straight to my phone. I'll be happy to call you back. Let's have a conversation about what kind of project you have going on.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Of
So, what
course.
we do is we let the guests have the last word in this conversation because our audience is upcoming entrepreneurs. So, what advice would you give to someone that wants to essentially burn their ship and start their own company?
The way I burned my ship was I bet on myself. You know, I've worked for other people and made other people money for such a long time, and I'm confident in my skills and my abilities to kind of connect with people, be a good salesperson, generate business for myself and things like that. But I've always been just taking a share of it and then giving the rest to my boss, right? And I finally just thought that betting on myself was the right move. So, like I said, my business is only a few months old, but I have years of experience in the area. If I can be social enough and connect with people in an effective way, communicate the problem that I'm trying to solve, if you can do all that and you have those skills, why wouldn't you bet on yourself? So betting on myself and creating my own schedule were the most important things to me. If I had advice for anybody that's just kind of looking to burn their ship and make that jump as well, just bet on yourself. And I mean, there's so many rewards along the way. At times it's difficult. You have to figure out sales and marketing. You have to figure out lead generation. You have to figure out timing. If you have family responsibilities, all these things come into play. But when you're betting on yourself and you're managing your own time, there's just so much to be said for that. So that's how I burn my ship for sure. And I mean, one of the most valuable things to me is creating my own schedule. I'm super schedule oriented. The most important app in my phone is my calendar. You know what I mean? If it's not in my calendar, I'll probably miss it. But like, I can manage my own time though, and I take pride in that, right? And whenever I show up to a job site or a networking event or to a podcast, like, I'm there when I chose to be there, you know? Mm-hmm. So being the master of my own destiny and the master of my schedule, betting on myself, and if the whole thing goes well, it's on me. And I can clap myself on the back for that, right? And even if it fails, that's on me too. And I appreciate that responsibility, right? So that's what keeps me motivated. So that's fuel to the fire. It lets me know that I'm on the right track because I'm constantly pushing myself to do bigger and better things, go out of my way to help people, connect with the public, build my business, and represent my brand, you know, in a way that I can be proud of. So if you're looking to burn your ship, just bet on yourself. Bet on yourself is the best advice I can give anyone.
That's amazing advice. So thank you so much for being here today.
Quite welcome. Thank you so much too.
I really appreciate all of your knowledge, and I totally agree with everything that you said. So thank you guys so much for another episode of Burn the Ship. Thank you so much, Nate, for coming in and joining us today.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll see you later.